Welcome, welcome, welcome. What's good?
Not much, man. What's going on, baby?
Slack episode 74, Say Like a Champ podcast. It's your boy
Nice.
A-Dub.
It's your boy Strizzy in the building, man. How you feeling, man? How's your week been?
Our week has been kind of crazy so far, but kind of good. A lot of rain out here in Phoenix, Arizona, cloudiness. I don't really like that too much. I like the sunshine, but you know how it is.
I feel you. And it's funny too, because I'm always good for a little bit of rain every once in a while. It snowed and held over here. Actually, we got snow and hail, some slushy, last couple of days. So that's kind of crazy, man. I want to welcome in all of our slackers out there. Appreciate y'all tuning in already. We see you guys. Julio's son in the building. What's up, man? Little brother from TikTok. My uncle in the building. What's up, Angel? We got moms and sister in the building too. What's up, Kels?
What's good? What's good? Welcome, everybody. We got longtime slacker Anthony Weston Jr. Excited about his Chiefs. Yeah, so welcome everybody to the show. We appreciate everybody gathering in.
Absolutely. I'm also live too. My bad. I'm also live on TikTok right now. I got my boys from No Limit Clothing. They're actually watching as well too. So shout out to them. I know they're doing. I'll say that for final say, but unless you have something, but they're with us as well.
That's what's up. Yeah, that's what's up. We'll say that for final say for sure. Bobby in the building too.
What's good, my guy?
Oh, that's what's up. And yeah, man, that's what's up. Where are we at on the TikTok? I think we were almost to 15K. Where are we at?
Right, yeah, pretty much right there right now. At 15K right now. So yeah, we're moving, man. We're moving and grooving.
That's what's up. That's what's up. Shout out. All right. Well, that being said, I think let's go ahead and let's get this thing kicked off the way we do.
Let's get it popping. What's good?
And we back.
Yes, sir.
Say Like a Champ, episode 74, as we said. Let's go ahead and get straight to it, though. We got to bring in the permanent special guest, festively attired today, to Miss Myra May, San Diego. What's good?
Welcome back.
Attired. Thanks, guys. Thanks. Appreciate. My Tuesdays are not the same without y'all.
Likewise. We always appreciate having you on the show for sure.
For sure.
Well, we know things get in the way sometimes, but you know what I mean? We appreciate everybody's time and input during this during our little Tuesday hour. We love it.
Yep.
Absolutely.
But yes, and I'm loving the Lakers jersey. I'm loving the Kobe jersey.
Got to represent Kobe for today, man.
Yeah. Can't believe it. 1 year later. Well, let's go ahead and touch on that. I mean, real quick before we get into it, we'll touch a little bit more on NBA talk, but 1 year later, I just remember that day being so very crazy, and just tough. Being a Kobe fan for a long time, so Kobe is the couch guest for today, in spirit. And yeah, man, that seems like it's crazy that it was already a year gone by.
Definitely anniversary you don't want to celebrate. You know what I'm saying? Like, definitely anniversary you don't care to celebrate very much. But I'm with you, man. When we found out, I remember, like, I just remember like it. Hoping it wasn't true. You know what I mean? Like, I was so sure it wasn't true. Like, I was positive. I was like, somebody playing around. Like,
yeah,
this is not like, if somebody's joking, this is not a funny joke. You know what I mean? Like, it's crazy.
That Sunday was surreal. Like, so real. Do we even call it an anniversary? Like, are we supposed to call it an anniversary? Like,
well, I mean, kind of. I don't know, but
yeah, that's a tough one, right?
Yeah, it definitely is a tough one. That was a tough day. But I do remember one of the things that helped me get through it, honestly, was that following Tuesday when we did our show. So I think we're gonna probably repost that to our podcast feed, the show from last year, this time, and just so we can kind of put that out there as kind of, those were our initial thoughts, and that was like I said, one of, really helped me get through that. So So my sister, one of the best episodes was his tribute. Yeah, it was a good episode, and it really did help me out for sure.
I know for me, like that day was super surreal, and my son had a basketball tournament that day. And the incident happened early on Sunday morning, and it was just like, it was gut wrenching, you know, like to sit at my son's basketball tournament and watch a bunch of little ones play basketball, all while we lost a great. So 2020 was rough. 2020 was rough.
Yeah, and then even just in the context of where he was on his way to when that happened too, you know, and what he started doing and what he was getting into as a father and stuff, and how he embraced that. So very tough, very tough. But
too soon.
Definitely. All right. But that being said, okay, let's go ahead and get into our regular topics. Let's go ahead and spin the wheel, see what's first.
What's up next?
Oh, let's check it out, man, real quick.
Tune to NFL talk. Let's get it.
All right, NFL talk. This Sunday was championship weekend. Two great games. First, let's start off with the Bucks at the Green Bay Packers. The Bucks did pull out that win. What did you guys think? What were your initial thoughts?
Go ahead, Myra.
My initial thoughts is Tom Brady, man. Like, you cannot take it away from him. We did talk about it early on in the year. The fact that he had such great targets on the offensive core was definitely going to impact Tom Brady moving down to the Buccaneers. And I think he strategized and he utilized those big targets during this game. It was kind of crazy there. The before halftime, like, man, the Buccaneers had pulled away quite a bit, but then again, they still have Aaron Rodgers. So I was like, pump your brakes, it's too soon. And sure enough, you know, the Packers came back swinging. The turnovers were crazy for me. The turnovers had me on the edge of my seat. Both defenses had big stops, 3 and outs. So it was an overall great game. Kudos. Yeah, absolutely. The Packers had plenty of chances with those turnovers in the second half, and they didn't capitalize. But kudos to Tom Brady, man. Like, this is almost one of those things like prove a point. Like, everybody talks about how he wouldn't return to the Super Bowl, moving on from the Patriots, how he was a product of Bill Belichick, and kudos to Brady to making it happen. So I'm really excited to see the Super Bowl. We got the young gun versus the veteran, man. Tom Brady was 24 or 22, something like that, when Patrick Mahomes was born. So I'm really excited to see this. I know on this show, when we made our Super Bowl picks, Kansas City was definitely one of my picks to go back to back. I was a little delusional calling the Dallas Cowboys, but hey, I'm a Texas girl, so forgive me, slackers, forgive me. But I'm really excited for the Super Bowl. It's going to be an amazing one.
Yeah, it will be.
Yeah, I pretty much agree with everything Myra just said too. But like, it's funny we talk about the turnovers, but in all reality, like, the second half turnovers weren't Tom's fault. They were both Mike Evans. Both of them were Mike Evans' fault. As a receiver, at first I thought the first interception was a little over his head. It wasn't when they slowed it down for the replay. Hit him in his hands as a receiver, especially a receiver like that, should have caught it. And then even the second interception, like, you have to be able to field that ball better. That was his fault too. You know what I mean? Like, when they go back and watch film, he's gonna say my bad. And you know, the game honestly could have been a little bit more out of reach than what we thought it would be for those 2 turnovers in the second half. But shout out to them. They did what they had to do. Not really. I know Aaron Rodgers is comment at the end of the game talking about players, you know, focus about their jobs later on. I didn't really like that coming from him because he's not the coach. But at the same time, too, you know, he's probably right. You know what I mean? At the same time, too, I I think in the end, I think it was more his fault than it was LaFleur's. I think the play calling wasn't that bad, and I think he had 2 chances where he could have, one, definitely gotten closer to the goal line, and 2, one of those runs could have possibly been a touchdown if he would have just ran it in.
True.
You know what I mean? So you know, he definitely had a chance, and I know he's probably upset with LaFleur kicking that field goal. But at the same time, if he would have did what I think he should have done, and he's probably looking back at it too, like, damn, I should have run. I should have ran, and he didn't. So, and We'll see though. I mean, it kind of sucks. It's a long ride home. You know what I mean? But it was definitely a really good game though.
Yeah. No, it was a good game, but I think, I mean, I kind of see what you're saying with Rodgers. Anthony Weston says, why did the media the media shield him from all the criticism? They kind of do, but I mean, I still think though they should have still gone for it too. When you have Rodgers, I mean, it's not like your defense is that beastly that you're like, oh, let's just go ahead and we'll get a stop. There's only 2 minutes left. You're giving the ball back to Brady. All he needs is a first down.
Exactly.
That was, I mean, I'm just saying, when you have Rodgers, you got to go for it. So,
agreed. No, and I completely agree with you. I think was it fourth and
8, 9?
Yeah, like you still go for it. Like I said, 2 minutes to Tom Brady is a lot of time. You know, and that's definitely a lot of time. I was just insinuating that before they got to fourth down, Rodgers had
some other choices.
Yeah, he definitely had some choices to make, and he probably made the wrong ones. You know what I mean? But if he could get those back, I know he'd probably do things a different way. But we'll see.
Yeah. No, most definitely. I do think it was a good game, though. And then on the Tom Brady side, I mean, now he's going to his 10th Super Bowl, and that's just incredible. I mean, he's been in the league 21 years. He's been to 10 Super Bowls. That's ridiculous. So shout out to him. I know a lot of people hate him, but, you know, you got to respect the GOAT.
You got to respect it, man.
Absolutely. We talked about this when we talked about LeBron, you know what I'm saying? Appreciate him while he's still here. You know what I mean? Like, he took – dude, the Buccaneers were 5-11 last year. 5-11, you know what I mean? And this year, I think they have the complete opposite schedule. Go in as a wild card, and now they're in the Super Bowl. So hats off to arguably the greatest player to ever, you know, put on a football uniform.
Yeah. All right, let's move to the nightcap, which I know a lot of our slackers in the chat are excited for, or were excited for. It was the Bills at the Chiefs. Chiefs Kingdom held it down. Patrick Mahomes was playing. He was in full effect. What did you guys think about this game? Was it par for the course, or the Bills have done more?
I think, yeah, as much as I wanted the Bills to win, like, I still think the Chiefs are the best team in football. You know what I mean? Like, if they're down, you definitely can't count them out. And the thing is, too, with that team is they're so good offensively. And AW had mentioned last week that even though their defense isn't like the greatest, they come in clutch when they need to. You know what I mean? It's like they could be number 15, you know what I mean, all around, but that when the defense needs them, they always somehow, you know, put it together and come through. But, you know, just nobody, you can't double team anybody on this team. You know what I mean? McCole Hardman goes for that 71-yard run after fumbling, you know, the series before.
Georgia.
Yeah, exactly. You know what I'm saying? Tyreek Hill, again, is an absolute monster. Like, dude takes a slant and you just can't catch him. Like, this dude's ability to break and re-accelerate is by far second to no player ever.
Even though sometimes he just be doing it for fun. Like, he just be like, you know,
dude, I'm saying, like,
but it's tight, though.
It's like he runs, comes to a complete stop, and then next thing you know, it's 0 to 60 like that. It's crazy. Like, Tyreek Hill's acceleration speed is absolutely phenomenal. Like, I feel like it takes a lot to, like, wow me when it comes to, like, football, but, like, dude's speed legit wows me, man. But yeah, man, the team is crazy. Anthony Weston is right. You know, the defense is definitely underrated. Honey Badger is definitely top 5 important player on the team. He's probably top 3, honestly. You say top 5, I think he's top 3. Defense definitely changed when he got there. I always said Cardinals should have never let him go. I was excited when they drafted him. But yeah, shout out to the Chiefs, man. Honestly, the Bucs have the work cut out for them. They're a really good team, but I think that the Super Bowl is the Chiefs' game to lose.
I agree with that last statement that you said. Like, that's the tough reality of this Super Bowl. But back to this game, you know, the Buffalo Bills scored first. You know, they were up 9-0 in the first quarter. So walking into the second quarter, I really thought that first quarter, I was like, man, the Bills are really, you know, really here to play. But come out that second quarter, Patrick Mahomes made some completions, and they put up 21 points in the second quarter by themselves. Quick. Yeah, that was absolutely quick. And Patrick Mahomes showed up, did his job, 29 for 38 through 325 yards, 3 TDs. Like, you can't Patrick Mahomes is definitely the up-and-coming face of the league when it comes to quarterbacks. There's no question about it. The kid can play quarterback, and just like you all said, you can't count them out. The throws that he makes under pressure, the little side throw is absolutely crazy. And I agree, the defense really stepped up after, after the Bills dropped those first 9 on them on the first quarter. After that, it was pretty much downhill for the Bills. Super impressed with the Kansas City Chiefs. Sometimes, and we've talked about this before, when they got their foot on the pedal, they kind of lax on how they play. And I think on this game, they didn't. They played a full game, a full complete game on both offense and defense. And like I said earlier, I'm really excited for the Super Bowl, having the young gun against the veteran. And I agree with Strizzy, this is battle of the quarterbacks, battle of the masterminds. Who's going to show up and what team is going to play complete football on both sides of the ball. So it really is the Chiefs' game to lose. So I think we got a good Super Bowl coming up.
Yeah, there'll definitely be some storylines. We're gonna save our Super Bowl picks for probably next week, since we got this weekend off.
Yeah.
But yeah, the game, I thought it was good. I agree with Myra. The Chiefs, they didn't really have that lack. They were okay, let's score every time out, and they normally do. But sometimes they settle for field goals. Sometimes they mess around a little bit. As Anthony Weston in the chat said, Eric Fisher, that loss hurts. He will not be available for the Super Bowl. But some different players are coming back. Sammy Watkins is coming back. Le'Veon Bell is coming back for the Super Bowl, so that should help their offense a little bit. But yeah, I like what the Chiefs did. I definitely wanted to see them in there. Hardman, yeah, that sucked. The fumble at the beginning. Other than that, they kind of gifted them those 6 points. Other than that,
yeah,
the Bills, the Bills were not in this game. So
yeah, they showed up really flat, man. But shout outs to them, though. I don't think, as much as I thought they'd get to the playoffs as well as they looked last year, I didn't really expect them to get to the AFC Championship game. So hats off to them. They're playing very well. They're a very young team, on the offensive side. So they've had a lot of growth to do. And Stephon Diggs was the only Bills player who stayed at the end of the game. That was, it's one of those things where you look back at it you want to be there next year. You know what I mean? So I expect even more so than what him, and Josh Allen did this year to next season. So, shouts out to them, man. They're a really, really good team.
Yeah, for sure. I think they'll be happy, even though, it depends on what kind of school you're from. Some people are like, hey, if you don't win it, it's a wasted season. But I think it was a good building season for them, and I think they're good with Josh Allen now. So
great.
That's cool.
I like Josh Allen as a quarterback, and I think, Josh Allen makes things happen. Didn't have one of his best games, threw for 230 yards. But I really like the Josh Allen and Stefon Diggs combination. Just like Strizzy says, they're a young team. The opportunity to build and continue to move further, I think they have a lot of hope for the Buffalo Bills moving forward. I don't think they're going to be trash next year. The fact that Stefon Diggs sat there and watched the entire ceremony at the end, he's bottling all that emotion up, and he's going to work twice as hard. I love Stefon Diggs, what he's done with Buffalo Bills, but yeah, it was like you all said, great game. I don't think they're going to be flat moving forward. So Buffalo Bills and the Bills Mafia have something to look forward to next season.
Yeah, for sure. All right, a couple other things we want to touch on real quick for NFL talk. Speaking of kind of next season, Matthew Stafford is available. Basically, he sat down with the Lions, and they agreed that they would kind of look for trade partners coming up this week. So it's pretty interesting to see where he might land. People are saying maybe the 49ers. Mm-hmm. I don't know where he'll go, but he is a solid veteran quarterback, and I think I am interested in seeing him get his opportunity kind of for a fresh start. So even the Saints, I don't know if they really want to go with Taysom Hill like that.
I don't think so.
But, who knows? We'll see what happens with him. I do think that'll be interesting. Oh, no shirt gang. No shirt gang.
Early on.
Good. How you doing?
Good.
I like Anthony's. I was gonna say that too. I like Stafford at the Colts, man. I think he'd be great there. Fresh start, nice offensive line where he doesn't have to worry about getting beat up, every single game, because Stafford's taken a bunch of hits, in Detroit over these last, 10 seasons or however long he's been in the league, you know what I mean? So I think the Colts would actually be a solid spot for him to land, and they've got the offensive line and the offensive weapons for him to be there and, be good.
We will definitely see. The mock draft, I was seeing some mock drafts. Mel Kiper's latest mock draft has 5 quarterbacks going in the top 15. So that's very interesting. They had Trey Lance from North Dakota State going to the Carolina Panthers for Strizzy. Would you be interested in that? Would you like that?
No, not really. You know what I mean? Like it's like it's not that I'm saying like absolutely not. But you know me, man. Fields is like the guy that I want right now. If we can't get Fields for whatever reason, I'd love to try to trade for Watson. You know what I mean? So we'll see. But almost segues me in a little bit into kind of I wanted to talk about Deshaun Watson a little bit too. He was saying that his preferred destination right now is the Jets over Miami.
Interesting. That's pretty interesting. I still don't know if the Jets are ready to get rid of Sam Darnold totally.
Right.
A lot of drafts have them taking Smith from Alabama as a wide receiver to get some more weapons.
Yep.
That would be interesting to see him go there. But I just really feel like, what do you guys think about this in general? Like, should players just be like this? Like, I'm just not playing anymore. Like, just get me out of here. Or,
no.
I mean, it's kind of weird.
No, I hate it. I can't stand it. When it comes to NBA or NFL, like, I really can't stand it because you don't have to sign that contract in the first place. You know what I mean? Like,
he just got paid last year, got cashed out.
Exactly. And you already didn't have the best relationship with the coach. You knew that he didn't have the best relationship with your number one receiver. You guys were better last year, but your offensive line was still garbage. You know what I mean? Like, he didn't have to sign that contract, and now a failed season. Now he just wants out, wants to hold his ground, doesn't want to play for them. Like, I'm not a big fan of it. I get it. You're upset, but you took the money. You know what I'm saying? Like, so, if they want to go a different direction, like, you know what? If you don't want to play here, we don't want you here. That's totally up to the Texans organization. But we've talked about this before. Like, I'm not a big fan of the players just being like, you know what? We're not good this year. I don't want to play this. Yeah, you know what I mean? Like, I'm not a big fan of it.
Right.
Imagine if, like, we as regular employees showed up to work like that. Like,
right.
Not have a job immediately. Like,
trade me.
Yeah, Mickey D's. Like, I want to be a Burger King. Good with Ronald. No, I mean, it is true. It is true, but I guess nobody's like showing up to watch us work or buying like our shirts and stuff, like my like little polos I wear to work. So they have a little bit of different leverages, but I think it will be interesting. But man, Texans fans will have nothing to root for if they trade him, and especially if they don't really get some good value back. So we'll see.
I feel like
they said they want 3 first-round picks. I don't know about all that. They said they want 3 first-round picks for Watson. I'm like, nah, you ain't getting 3 first-round picks.
Yeah.
Really, Houston sports is really struggling this year. Like,
James Harden was out too. He's same thing. He's like, I'm getting out of here.
Excuse me. They get rid of I always say this. They get rid of Nuke. They get rid of Nuke. And then Harden wants out. And now
they took the World Series away. You know what I'm saying? Y'all cheated for the World Series. You know what I'm saying?
Houston sports is struggling. We need a turnaround in Houston. What is going on?
Yeah.
We need a turnaround immediately. This is a no-go.
Yeah, that's so funny.
Together. And it's crazy because both sports franchises, like the Texans and the Rockets, the players are saying the same thing too. Like, it has to do with ownership and ownership's like vision. I get it. I feel that side of the business. Like, I don't want to work somewhere where our vision is not the same. But then again, I agree with you, Strizzy. Like, you took the money, so.
Yeah.
Part of me, it's funny too because like we talk about Watson saying that he'd rather be in New York over Miami, the Jets of all teams, and in my head, I'm thinking like Panthers got to do whatever we can to keep DJ Moore and CMC, and then whatever else, let's go out and get Watson. I think Watson puts our team in the playoffs and a favorite to get to the NFC Championship. Our offense is actually really, really nice. And our offensive line, as good as we were running the ball, you know what I mean? Like, we were very injured last year too, so Watson would elevate us like crazy. But again, going back to what I was saying, I feel like there's some minor tampering going on a little bit. Like, because I feel like somebody had to be in his head, like, all right, look, like, you know,
now's the time.
Yeah, like, we're going to trade you. We're going to get rid of Darnold. We're going to grab Devontae Smith from Alabama, get you some weapons. Like, you know what I'm saying? Like, because why would he just all of a sudden be like, I'd rather go to the New York Jets, who have just got their coach or whatever, have no real weapons for him, the worst offensive line in football. Like, he just got
barely won a game last year.
You know what I'm saying? And their number one draft pick on the offensive line from last year was hurt pretty much all season. So he's coming back healthy. So, you know what I mean? They'll probably get another offensive lineman like the second or third round after they pick up Smith. But I feel like someone had to let him know what their plans were for him to want to be like, I think I want to go to the New York Jets. Because Miami's already pretty suited. You know what I mean? Like,
yeah,
you throw Watson on that team, I feel like with like the Panthers, like you're pretty much ready to go.
Right. No, I agree. But those are some developments we will be watching closely over the summer. We got a long time to look forward to that. But last other note on NFL Talk, we are doing the Super Bowl squares. So hit us up if you guys want in on the Super Bowl square competition. And Moms mentioned it earlier. I did finally I came through and I won the little pick'em this week. I was only right. So that's what's up. I will be getting a Super Bowl square from us too.
Yes, sir.
She said, I formally apologize for mocking him.
I was like, man, I can't do this all off season. So that's what's up. So I got to get up in there. So
we go high.
Right. Oh yeah, and Anthony, we'll definitely take care of that for sure. So
yeah, I was gonna have you too. Like, I'll text you or whatever. I was gonna have you send me the 4 cartoon pictures that we took. I was gonna box them up and do a post for the squares.
perfect.
So yeah, send me those, and then I'll get a post going.
Cool. Perfect.
She said congrats, I guess.
I mean, always hating, but that's all right. We're good on each other though. We keep each other motivated. All right, but let's move on. All right, NBA talk. So we're just going to talk about some current basketball topics. It's still early on in the season, still kind of getting things warmed up, but I am excited for tomorrow. The Lakers are playing the 76ers, the best record in the West and the best record in the East, and of course, Dad and I is both our teams. So I'm hoping that might be a finals preview, but we'll see because the East has a lot of stuff going for it. That's for sure. But yeah, Brooklyn, they're kind of losing some games, but obviously the talent's there. But what do you guys think about the Brooklyn experiment so far?
I'm gonna go first, and let's kind of go off this. So we talked about it, man. We talked about it. They have, you know, arguably 3 of the best players in the league right now, hands down. But the problem is they traded away all their depth. You know what I mean? So a lot of their depth is gone. So when those players aren't doing well and KD can't play back-to-backs, they struggle. I mean, they dropped 2 in a row to the Cavs, and all honesty, the first game against Miami, if Miami's healthy, they don't win that game. You know what I mean? And that's not me being biased. That's truthfully, they barely beat Miami, and they were, you know what I'm saying, burnt out and depleted. They probably would not win that game had they been at full health. Right. So yeah, bombed out and depleted, baby. Bombed out. Bombed out and depleted. So right now it's not working. And in all honesty, I think it has to go with coaching. You know what I mean? Like, ISO ball is not going to work. It's just not, because as soon as they dribble 20,000 times and miss a shot, it's transition game. And right now they can't guard anybody. They're like defensively, they're really bad defensively too. KD looks great offensively as a shooter, as a scorer, but right now he still looks a little slow coming back from his injury. So he's definitely not as spry as we're normally seeing KD. I've been watching. I've definitely been watching. But anyway, it's still super early in the season. We have a long way to go. It's like 50 games left. You know what I mean? Right. But I think coaching is going to be the tall tale of this team right now, and they got to get together because ISO ball is not going to work on the playoffs. The East has some really good defensive teams. Miami's very good defensively. The 76ers have been very good defensively lately. Right now, they're the team that I'm worried about the most. You know what I mean?
They're pretty cool.
Dude, they look really good. Doc Rivers has them playing very, very well, and right now Embiid is my MVP. So
let's see. He's finally doing it consistently. That's what I'm excited.
That's what I'm saying. He's finally doing it consistently, and that's what I've always wanted out of him, just consistency, and he'd be the man. And he showed lately he's definitely been the man. So they definitely get together.
Yeah, Unc says give Brooklyn a couple weeks to play together, 2-3 weeks to play together, and I think I agree with that. It still is early.
Right, it's early.
And they'll be dangerous, but also Anthony Weston, though, he says tell the Cavs executives to keep quiet. And Bobby says Bron for MVP. And it is true. So Bron was back in playing at the Cavaliers last night for the first time in a long time. Dropped 46 on their head, was shooting from 3. He was doing his thing for sure. And then tomorrow night's game against the Sixers, it should be pretty cool.
Yeah,
that's for sure too.
I'm excited for that one. That should be a really good game.
Yeah. One other scary thing, Karis LeVert, he did have surgery, kidney surgery. They did find, he had some cancer there during his physical when he got traded in that James Harden trade. He is expected to make a full recovery, but that was scary. So definitely shout out to him. You know what I'm saying, that he'll be doing that. Mom says no baloney, Sixers all the way, and that was the rhyme from back in the day when they had Moses Malone, Dr. Dre, Andrew Toney, no baloney, Sixers all the way. We'll see if those days come back. I don't know. My mom's actually met Dr. J one time. We'll have to have her tell that story sometime. Maybe
Me too. I've actually met him too. I met him at an airport.
You probably see him coming, huh?
Yeah, it was pretty crazy actually.
Out for everybody, like taller than everybody.
Huge. I was picking up my boy from the airport because he used to work there, and something happened with his whip. So I was picking him up, and I just see this like monstrous tall dude, and I was like, "Who is that?" Next thing I know, he turned back or whatever. I'm like, "Oh, shit, that's Dr. J." So I'll have to see if I can find where the picture's at. 'Cause I think it's saved to like my Google something or whatever. But me and my boy got a picture with him, so it's pretty cool.
That's dope. That's dope.
That's what's up.
I got to ride an elevator.
No fro, a little bit of gray, but yeah.
I got to ride an elevator with Doc Rivers, and his voice in person is just so hilarious.
Oh my gosh,
the raspy voice, just the way we hear it, is just.
It makes my throat hurt when I hear him speak. So I'm like, dang, I don't know. Shout out Eileen TV in the family in the building.
Hey,
and quick plug for her. She has is it called Let's Talk Deportes or Let's Talk Sports?
Deportes, yeah.
It's on YouTube. Hit her up on Instagram to find the links. Or on YouTube, Let's Talk Deportes. She's on later tonight. So
yeah, pretty much right after us.
Yeah, so
jump
shout
on
out to
there. Watch us and then jump and watch some more Deportes.
Exactly. And she mixes it up with the Spanish. I like when she speaks the Spanish. It's pretty dope. So
love it.
And then Anthony Weston, he met KD because of Marcus. We got to give the plug to super producer Marcus. You know, he's good friends with Kendrick Perkins. Shout out, check out his interview that he did with Kendrick Perkins. It
was real dope.
Yeah, when Kendrick Perkins was on OKC, he used to bring him in and give him the full family treatment. So that's what's up too. That's some fun. We'll have to do like a sideline for our YouTube where we'll just do some little interviews, some little adventures in fandom stories. You know what I'm saying? That would be really dope.
Yeah.
Put some more content like that.
I plead the fifth.
Oh yeah, I know what I'm saying.
That's kidding.
We could tell stories, but Myra might have to have some stories that she has to hold back. You know what I'm saying?
Just kidding.
But that's what's up. Yeah. So NBA talk is still things are kind of matriculating. The Mavs have been kind of quiet. That's interesting. They're kind of slipping down. The Warriors, they're doing all right. They're holding.
Yeah, they're doing better.
Playoffs.
They're doing better. The only thing that kind of sucks though is like I feel like, and you kind of expect it from them, a little bit, but I feel like Steph's got to go with 35. You know what I mean? Like that's kind of been the story of the Warriors. Like if Steph don't score 30 plus, they don't do very well. You know what I mean? So he can do it. I know he wants to get the team a little bit more involved because their team is really young now, so he wants to get these guys the experience. But I feel like he's tired. He has to go out there and get his, and then they'll go as far as Steph can take them. Unfortunately,
for sure. But yeah. Myra, anything else you're excited for with NBA right now, or you're just kind of waiting back?
I'm loving watching the season, man. I'm glad that the NBA is back on full fledged. We get to see NBA just about every day now.
Yeah.
I am excited to see, what they're going to do with the G League, especially how we had talked about last time, how some teams are getting depleted because of COVID. So I'm excited to see what strategy they have to bring some of those guys up to continue to have basketball. And it just definitely opens the door for opportunity. I'm the same with you all, man. Just sitting back watching basketball. The Lakers have been absolutely electrifying. There's certain teams that you definitely watch. Been a little suspect to Houston now with all the changes, so that hurts my heart just a little bit. But yeah, I'm excited for the East too. A lot of changes in the East, so let's see what happens. I didn't like that Brooklyn lost to Cleveland. Like out of all teams, Cleveland, that was horrible.
They play kind of tough, and like
you gotta give it to them. They showed up and they played. They showed up and they showed out. So I mean, kudos to Cleveland. I'm just saying it sucks because Brooklyn, like we talked about, on paper has the players. They have the personnel. But I mean, it is what it is. It's early on in the season. What's y'all's opinion on the whole super teams format? Like, are you for it? Are you against it? How do you feel as a fan watching the game?
Well, I mean, I don't mind it, I guess, but I just don't like how teams will just go all in and kind of wreck their future. And so I feel like then in the midst, what we miss is these middle level players that are just getting like moved around in the background, like the Victor Oladipos and the Lonzo Balls of the world, that they never get a chance to like really just sit and build a team. So
right.
I think I don't like that part of it. I don't like that it kind of devalues the draft. So, I mean, I don't like how much, unfortunately, I hate to say it like this, but I don't like how much player control goes into making those big teams. But at the same time, at the end of the day, when I see it all together, yeah, I love to see it. I want to see all-star type rosters. So
I have a second question with this. So KD now has been on two super teams, so to say, right? Golden State Warriors and now with Brooklyn.
Mm-hmm.
Does that devalue his credibility as a player because he has the players around him?
No, not as a player, no.
Yeah, I don't think so.
If he was a run-of-the-mill type guy, you know what I mean? Like if he was just an everyday type player.
He's a great player by himself.
Yeah, if he was just constantly jumping from basically super team to super team, you know what I mean? Like, and I hate to say this, but like if he was
Robert
like
Horry.
yeah, my guy. See, my brother knows. Like if he's like Robert Horry, he's got 7 rings, right? 7 rings, right? Yeah. And he's going from basically best team in the league to best team in the league. Then I think yes, it would devalue him as a player a little bit. But because he's that good, you know what I mean? Like I never agreed with his decision to go to the Warriors in a sense. But the Nets is a little bit different. That was him and Kyrie. He had nothing to do with Harden wanting to go to the Nets. He had nothing to do with them trading.
Well, nothing to do with it. He made it more attractive, but I know what you mean, though.
Right.
He was already there.
Yeah. He was already there. Kyrie was already there, and the season had started last year. You know what I mean? Even though he didn't get to play, like they had already been there. The season this year had already started before Harden got there too. So I mean that in a sense of this time, it's a little bit different than say it was like where he was like, I just joined a 73 and 8 team or whatever, and they beat last year in the finals. You know what I'm saying? Or the Western Conference finals. So I think it's a little bit different.
No, I agree.
Yeah.
We'll see at the end of the day too how much hardware he ends up with, but I don't think it diminishes because at the end of the day, when you watch him, you know what kind of player he is. You can see it. So.
And I'm just thinking like long term, as sports fans, we always try to like make comparisons like, well, Jordan had Pippen and this player had this player. Like, do you think further along down the line, people are going to be like, well, KD was so great because he had these people around him?
I mean, if they're old enough to remember, then they'll know.
Yeah.
If they're really basketball fans, they'll know.
Right. And speaking for me, like, I think KD is great. Like, I've always thought he's like a 7-foot point guard. The way he can dribble, handle, shoot from just about anywhere. He's amazing. Like, there's no stopping KD from scoring.
And he was on like a
walk-in bucket for sure.
Easily, you'll look up and be like, "Oh, he's got 22 already." Like he didn't even.
Yeah, exactly.
And he was on like a Teen Titans pre-super team when he had Russell, him and Harden like back on the OKC. So he's always had a lot of good players, but he's always been like,
the man.
Yeah.
And to me, like whatever team he's on, he's been the man. And Anthony popped up. He said, "I don't think it devalue him as a player, but it's hard to compare him with what LeBron accomplished." And that's very true. People move to get away from LeBron. He's that good. I still say, I said it last week, LeBron is the best player in the league right now, even with KD in it. You know what I'm saying? Like he's that dude. He's that guy. He makes his team so much better. They play well because of LeBron, even when AD is struggling. So, LeBron is LeBron. Whether he won them or not, regardless of his record, he's still got a 10 finals in this, modern day era basketball. And not a lot of players can say that they've done that. So, yeah, LeBron is definitely LeBron.
And Unc, earlier I missed his comment, but he said he wants to take the family to see the Lakers sometime before LeBron retires. I mean, I've gotten a chance to see him play in person and stuff, and I think it's definitely something you should do. But man, some of these, I'm getting jealous because I still haven't really like looked at who's letting people in or not.
Mm-hmm.
But I'm watching the Lakers game, and some of these nights I see fans. I'm like, man, one of these days we're gonna have to catch a road game and make this happen. I mean, they're hopefully gonna release the second half of the season sometime soon, so maybe we'll see. We'll see what's going on. I don't know.
Miami got the COVID sniffing dogs.
Yeah, the COVID sniffing dogs is kind of weird. I never heard of that before.
Me neither, dude. I was like, you can smell out COVID now?
And I don't really trust a dog. Like, I don't want to trust my, like, $600, $400 tickets, like, into a dog's hand. Like, if he sniffs me wrong. Like, I mean, I'm just saying.
But that just in itself, like, worries me, like, society moving forward. Like, we're training dogs to sniff an illness out of people. Like, what if they start walking around society and just snatching them? Like, I'm telling you, I watched that one crazy movie, COVID, whatever it's called, and I'm like, Lord Jesus, what's about to happen?
Well, all the slackers know you're our resident conspiracy theorist, so when it gets popping off, we're going to come back to you. We're going to come back to you for more info.
For sure. Resident conspiracy theorist, for sure. Hey, since we're on NBA Talk, I just want to do a quick shout out. I don't know if you all did it last week, but I was not here. So a special thank you to Tyler Marsh for sending us our gear. Oh, yeah. Strizzy did the TikTok or Instagram reel thanking Tyler Marsh for our gear. So Tyler, thank you for joining us on the show. Thank you for our gear. And we're looking forward to see you in Indiana. And I told him, I was like, I'm going to hit you up for a game. He's like, I got you. So thanks, Tyler. Appreciate you. You're the best. Thank you, thank you, thank you.
Yeah. We definitely shouted him out last week. We had to, you know what I'm saying? We actually opened up me and A-Dub's package on the show last week. So, A-Dubs, I still have his shirt and I have his Girl Chat Sports beanie. So, still need to meet up with them, but, you know what I mean? Yeah. Laziness on my part.
No, we'll figure that out because we'll probably be doing something pretty soon, actually. I got to talk to you about something I want to do before the Super Bowl, too. So, we'll be getting together. But, yeah, we did definitely thank Tyler Marsh, and it's great to see him moving up in his career and continuing to do great things. So,
absolutely.
We'll be watching him for sure. But, all right, let's keep it moving. Let's do a quick round of other sports.
So what's next again?
Other sports?
Oh, yeah, other sports. Okay, so not football.
Yeah, not basketball. We did that already.
Oh, okay, like hockey.
Yeah, like hockey. Feel me?
Okay, like baseball, you know what I'm saying?
Yes, sir. Like soccer, right?
There we go.
Like soccer.
Like other sports.
All right. Other sports, not too much, but one thing I did want to talk about, the Phillies re-signed their catcher, JT Realmuto.
Yep.
5 years, $115 million. Get the bag, get the money. That's what's up.
Sure.
And the other thing about baseball is, it's still the off season. It's still been a kind of relatively quiet off season, but spring training is actually scheduled to start February 27th.
Yeah.
27th. So that's like basically a month away. And the Cactus League says they're ready. Our officials out here in Arizona, even though we're the highest of the wave, we're highest in the nation and highest per capita. We're breaking records, all the worst. But the Cactus League says they're ready to go. So I'm hoping we'll be able to at least host some baseball, if not get in to see some baseball real soon here.
Yeah, I'll be down for that for sure.
Yes. The other thing, Unc already got to it. Hank Aaron, rest in peace. Definitely, definitely just a class act and a person who did a lot for baseball, but specifically for African American and minorities in general in baseball. So definitely shout out to Hank Aaron, original member of the 755 Club.
Yep.
Big shout out to him. that was very sad to see that. Another great loss,
Seriously.
Yeah, and the story behind how, like, or what happened, again, another conspiracy of Myra, but yeah, that's crazy.
Yeah, we're gonna have to do a whole nother branch of show. but as Anthony Weston says, baseball's lost some legendary players this last few months. Tommy Lasorda, we just talked about, a couple of weeks ago. So yeah, it's been tough on baseball, but baseball will be back in full effect. And they're wanting to do their full 162 game schedule. It should start April 1st. So we'll see. You guys know I'm still on my quest to finish the last 5 stadiums I need to go to. So I'm really hoping they make a decision about fans here pretty soon too. Not crossing my fingers or holding my breath, but we'll see. Other sports news. The only other thing is this weekend there was the big UFC fight. McGregor got knocked out by Dustin Poirier.
Mm-hmm.
Did you actually watch the game at all?
Yeah, I watched it. Fight?
I mean the fight, not the game. Yeah. What did you think? Because I didn't see it till afterwards. I saw the replay.
Yeah, it was crazy. Actually, so you would have never thought that was going to happen, based on the first round. McGregor actually pretty much won the first round. He looked really, really good. You can't count Dustin Poirier out, though. He actually is a really, really good fighter. Definitely not the same fighter he was from their first time going around. And then in the second round, he caught McGregor with a kick to his leg, and it literally just he lost his footing. Like he couldn't stand on it anymore. So once he lost his footing and his ground, Poirier caught him with a punch straight to the face too, dazed him, and then after that it was a wrap. He just went in for it. And sucks. I love watching McGregor fight, especially seeing how he is now. He's a totally different person than what we're used to seeing in his earlier days of UFC. But at the same time too, you kind of almost expect it. You're only fighting once a year. You know what I mean? Like if that. So and these guys are fighting at least 2, sometimes 3 if they're a much smaller fighter. But these dudes are fighting a little bit more often, so they're just a little bit more fight ready. And I think
plus he's doing proper Irish number 12 commercials, and he's like building a brand. He's busy with a lot of other things.
Exactly.
Than fighting. But.
Exactly. So like it was kind of crazy, seeing him kind of go down that way, but he was extremely humbled. Said he's like, and then Poirier too. His post fight interview was extremely humbling too. He was like, man, we're 1-1. He's like, I hate doing this, but this is what this is what I have to do to my family. He was like, we're 1-1. We got to do it again. So there might be a third one. So we'll see.
Rubber match, yeah.
Yep.
We'll see. I don't know. UFC, I like UFC sort of, you know what I'm saying? Like, I mean, I like watching it, but I just can't, I can't pay for it for sure. Like, there's nothing that's really attracting me to, really, really watch. So
I love it, but it's hard to pay for it too.
Yeah.
It's definitely rough when you're the main event is over in the beginning of the second round. I mean, that's really hard to pay $60-$70 for stuff like that. So I agree with you. I love the sport. I love it. Especially seeing some of these up and coming fighters, since a lot of the fighters that I kind of that started me watching UFC are pretty much already retired or nearing retirement.
Yeah.
Another thing too, as far as UFC goes, John Jones is moving up to heavyweight now. Dude looks ferocious.
Looks like he's pretty beastly, yeah.
He looks ferocious. You know what he looks like? John Jones right now looks like the way he did when he got caught with cocaine and got suspended for a year, and all he did was work out. He looks like that again.
Straight up.
Dude looks extremely beastly, man. So I would want to be a heavyweight right now in that division for sure.
I always love to see John Jones fight, though. Something about his fights are just so exhilarating. So when he does fight, that's when I do like to pay for UFC fights. Hey, after Conor McGregor took that L, did you all see Floyd Mayweather's comments and his, just questioning, somebody had posed a question. I don't know who had posed a question, but Floyd Mayweather commented on it. Somebody had posed a question that, why do people praise Conor McGregor for how cocky he is, but they criticize Floyd Mayweather for the same thing? What is y'all's thoughts on it? Do you think they're treated differently?
No. I don't actually. Especially because Connor hasn't been that way in at least 2 to 3 years. You know what I mean? But I think that well, never mind. I disagree. Actually, sorry. I do agree with that. Floyd definitely is treated, a lot worse than say what Connor is in a sense, but it's also kind of different. Like,
it's almost like people praise Conor McGregor's cockiness and they despise Floyd Mayweather's cockiness.
I think part of it though is I feel like besides the fight between McGregor and Floyd, McGregor doesn't go as hard as Floyd does. Like, McGregor can go pretty tough. Yeah, I mean, he'll talk his stuff at the press conferences and stuff, but like Floyd is like nonstop. Like Floyd's like, I'm gonna get this money. We gonna hype this up all the way. I'm going after everybody that you know. Like,
but he's gracious after the fight.
He is always. That's what I mean. It's always for show. It is. It's always for show. Floyd is not like that 24/7. You know what I mean? He's always gracious after the fight.
And for me, guys, like, they're fighters. Like, you have to talk your shit and psychologically prepare yourself that you're going to get in the ring. And no matter what, like, somebody's going to put some hands on you and you may take a beating. So why not count on yourself? Why not talk your shit and mentally prepare yourself to jump in the ring? Like, these guys are low-key psychos that they do this for a living. Like, we pay to see these dudes get their asses beat, and like, we love it. So for me, it's like, I do think they are treated differently. And in fact, I think Conor McGregor is cockier than Floyd Mayweather pre-fight. I think Floyd Mayweather talks his shit, but he's not like Conor McGregor. Conor McGregor has the whole little stance, the walk, the everything. Like
the billionaire walk.
In the press conference, he's in people's faces, like talking shit. So is Floyd Mayweather, but I feel like Conor McGregor's cockiness is more out there than Floyd's.
Yeah, no, I agree. I think he kind of, I don't know. I think I've seen him be a little bit more disrespectful, and I have seen him go further as far as like, well, I mean, and this was years ago, but when he like smashed up the dude's bus and stuff like that, you're not going to catch Floyd doing anything like that. Like,
no, definitely not.
To that level. Right. So,
and he got a lot of flack for that actually too, though.
Right. I think I think that actually he did grow from that.
And I think that's where everything changed. I think after that, getting in trouble.
Realized like I can't take it this far.
Right.
But he kind of built himself in the mold of Floyd Mayweather. Honestly,
he did 100%.
He totally took that and he was like, oh, okay, so when Floyd became Money Mayweather, when he became Money Mayweather from Pretty Boy Floyd, like he kind of followed those same steps. So I think that they're kind of similar. Anthony Weston, though, he says he thinks people are jealous of Floyd's money. That might be why they're traded a little bit differently.
And Conor McGregor's cockiness, though, did bring a lot of light to UFC. Like, I feel like pre-Conor McGregor, like, UFC wasn't as popular because they didn't have a face for it.
That's true. And maybe that's why it was more acceptable because they were kind of pushing that out there. They needed that to be part of the show.
It 100% wasn't. Before Conor McGregor came onto the scene, UFC was still, just as popular as regular MMA.
Yeah,
they were still pretty small, and Dana White admits it. Dana White admits it.
Silva, they still had, but I agree though. He was more like he brought the pop star version-ish, and he made himself up to be this too. Though I mean, so maybe people like the story too, where he kind of came from nothing, but at the same time, so did Floyd.
Yeah, but I agree though. I think he 100% followed Floyd's blueprint. I think he saw how much money Floyd was making. Everybody wanted to fight him because of his persona. You know what I mean? At the end of the day, like that's what it is. It's a persona. You know what I mean?
Well, yeah, and Floyd realized that he was the first one to really unlock that. Like, whether they hate me or they love me, they're still paying. Like, they pay the same. So he's like, I don't care why you're here. You're gonna watch. Like, and that's all I care about.
Exactly.
So speaking of that, back to boxing. It was just released that Manny Pacquiao is gonna fight Ryan Garcia. What is y'all's thoughts on that?
This is kind of interesting. Is this one last ditch attempt from Pacquiao to get like another money fight? Or he still might teach him a lesson though, because Pacquiao still fights every time. I always feel like he's done. Every time he gets in the ring, he still fights. He knuckles up.
Yeah.
So I think it'll be interesting. It should be an action fight, but hopefully Garcia's ready.
I know.
I love
No.
Garcia, but this is Manny Pacquiao. Like
That's what I'm saying. Like, but it's like it's a very fine art that promoters try to do when they try to catch like a person coming up and maybe one going down a little bit, and they try to be like, okay, you know, outweighing that youth and that star power versus like that raw talent that never goes away. You know what I'm saying? That old man experience. And it's kind of like what they tried to do with our boy Canelo against Mayweather. They were hoping that they'll catch it at the right time, and they didn't. You know what I mean? This could be the same situation, but it's going to look even worse based on Pacquiao's age.
Exactly, and that's kind of where I was going to go too. You know, if Garcia does beat Pacquiao for whatever reason, he's pushing 50. If he's not already there, you know what I'm saying? Like he's getting up there.
It would still give him enough of a win. You know.
Definitely, because
but you feel like it's a lose-lose situation. You feel like if he wins, oh well. If he loses, that really hurts him.
I don't think it is, because if he loses, it really does hurt him. You know what I mean? Because like, yes, you lost to Manny Pacquiao, so it's like, well, it's Manny Pacquiao, but it's also 46, 47-year-old Manny Pacquiao. You know what I mean? And Ron Garcia's can he drink legally yet?
I'm not sure.
You know, I really don't know. That's a legit question. I don't know if he's 21 yet. Is he 21 yet? You know what I'm saying? So. But, you know, then again, like you said, if he wins, it's like, I beat Manny Pacquiao. But there's also going to be people like me who are like, yeah, but he's 47.
But still, it's still a legend. You're still putting a legend on your column. Like that's
for sure.
That's still good.
Right. But I'm like, would you have beat Manny at 35?
No.
Right. Nah.
You might not beat him now, so we'll see.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. Like,
he's 22? He's 22? Okay. I thought he was 20.
Okay, yeah. I thought he was like 20, almost 21. But yeah, like you fight Manny 10 years ago, you're getting put to sleep, kid. You know what I mean? So we'll see. We'll see. He has to it has to be a really good fight. Like Manny still's got to be up to like, you know, popping, throwing in the hands, and like for Ryan to win and me to be like, okay, yeah, he got him, and Manny looked great. You know what I mean? But
yeah,
we'll see. Remember the memes when Pacquiao got knocked out? He was like on the mat. That's just what I thought about when you said that.
Yeah.
By Marquez, man, he was asleep, and his hands. When you see your hands tucked under you like that, you know what I'm saying? Like
it's over.
That's a good nap.
Yeah,
good nap.
Man, they were trying to hold him up. Oh man. Okay. Real quick before we do this or that though, Moms did say rest in peace, Hammer and Hank, and she said conspiracy not true, so we can just scratch that off the list for the other program. And he did sponsor a lot of park repairs. He did do a lot for the kids in Puerto Rico and the community in general. So, and Nate Robinson too. Nate Robinson.
Night.
But see, that's the thing. I'm telling you guys, social media makes things happen so quick. We already forgot about Nate Robinson. People were like, how is he ever going to live with himself? We already forgot. You know what I'm saying? Things move too fast. So
did we?
He'll be all right. Well, until Anthony Weston didn't, but you know what I'm saying? I almost had forgotten what he thought about him. So he'll be all right.
One other thing, Jake Paul signed a fight with former UFC fighter Ben Askren in April. They're going to
really?
Yeah, they're going to have a boxing match. Former UFC fighter versus Jake Paul.
If Ben Askren, I think I've heard that name. He's actually like probably a pretty good wrestler. If that's the person I'm thinking of.
Former UFC fighter, and he's agreed to a boxing match.
So maybe Jake Paul's trying to really work himself up there. We'll see. He needs content for the YouTubes.
Jake Paul is capitalizing on his social media influencer personality.
Yeah.
Yeah, you started on social media and now you're boxing like real athletes.
But see, the thing is, like he's another one where it's like love him or hate him. Like he's doing something. He's churning up that attention. So capitalize off it, man. Get your money. But it's kind of weird to me.
2020 is all over the place, right? 2021 now.
But all right, let's do it. Do you have a quick this or that for us?
Yeah, I do have a quick this or that.
Or doesn't have to be you know, we'll make it complicated.
For sure.
Always.
Who is a better post-up player? Olajuwon or Shaquille O'Neal?
Oh, this is Olajuwon.
Yeah.
If we're talking just post-up skill moves and everything, yes, Olajuwon. Shaq was nice, but obviously his size, his bulk, it just made it very like a little bit easier for him to dominate in the post
Yeah.
that way. Olajuwon had the bevy of moves. You know what I'm
Yeah,
saying?
he had the skill set. Like he had the bag, and then like the little, like another little bag, like tucked away in his sock. Like you know what I'm saying? Like the dude's
the dream
offensive
shape,
skill set.
everything.
Yeah, man, crazy. There's a reason why shooting guards go to Hakeem Olajuwon. You know what I mean? To work on their post game and their feet work. So yeah, I mean Shaq to me is still the most dominant center ever to play. I think because he was just monstrous compared to everybody else who got to guard him. Just wide body, the weight too. Like he was just so big. You know what I mean? But skill set wise, post wise, it's gotta be a large one for me.
Yeah, hit him with the dream shape.
Definitely a lot for me.
Yeah.
All right, let me throw another one at you since we're talking about post-up players. Bill Russell or Kareem Abdul-Jabbar?
I have to say Kareem with the skyhook, but that's only because I can see it and picture it. You know,
Right.
Bill Russell.
Past our time.
I just remember him was like he's just bigger than everybody is what I always heard. So
right.
I mean, I don't know, but obviously, you know, and I just remember seeing him at the sideline of Sixers games. You know what I'm saying? Other than that, so I don't know, but that's a good one though too.
Strizzy?
Agreed. I agree. I think Kareem. You know, it's really tough too, man, because like you said, like we can watch tape of Russell's, but
we
like
didn't get to experience it.
You know what I mean? Like at all, like not even a little bit. You know what I mean? So, and like you said, like he was just so much bigger than everybody else at that point in time. So I never want to take what he did, you know what I'm saying, as a player. But, you know, I still feel like Kareem played against so much more talent than what Bill Russell had to play against.
For sure.
Definitely. So there is actually a top list of top post-up players. I'm just going to read to y'all top 5. Number 1 is Hakeem Olajuwon.
Mm-hmm.
Number 2 is Shaquille O'Neal. 3 is Wilt Chamberlain. 4 is Bill Russell. And 5 is Kareem Abdul-Jabbar.
Okay. That's how they had him ranked?
Yeah, that's how they have him ranked.
That's a pretty good ranking.
Oh, yeah. I don't necessarily disagree with it.
Man, I wonder though. We should try to think of a list of like we should try to think of a list of like small men in the post, because like I mean I know Kobe was legit, but like 2 guards, like point guards in the post, like
Wade was really good too. Like posting wise, he was really good too.
Yeah, exactly. But I was trying. Who else was I trying to think of?
The gloves, maybe.
Chauncey Billups, yeah, he would get down in the post.
Yeah.
Jordan's post-up game too. I mean, Kobe basically learned it from Jordan. So.
Right. Even Russell's post game was actually really nice too.
Yeah, he can get down there too a little bit.
Right.
That is pretty cool.
He don't do it often, but I'm saying like he should probably do it more. Is what I'm saying.
Right. But yeah, I always think working in the post is always like, you know, it's like it's not taught anymore the same way. You know, the basketball is just run and gun, cuts, you know, shooting, point up, you know. So it's not kind of taught the same. Like it's not played inside out or not as much. So that is one thing I do like watching Embiid play. You know, it's still you get to still see some of that.
Right.
So one other thing I forgot too for NBA talk, I was going to mention real quick. Apparently the Pelicans are shopping JJ Redick and Lonzo Ball. Apparently they're ready to kind of move on. Yeah. And I'm like, I don't really see the point of that. It's not really towards the trade deadline yet. Maybe Redick as a veteran because, you know, some team might grab him for the playoff run, but I just kind of thought that was interesting. And then also another thing Anthony Weston said, apparently, you know, LeVar Ball was chirping at the Hornets coach too about starting Melo. So
right.
A little bit more drama over there. So we'll see what's up with that. But that's another thing that we'll have to touch on, or we may see updates on later or next week on Slack too. So yeah. But yeah, I think that was so that was a great this or that. It's time for final say. And Strizzy, if you want to do your plug.
Yeah, really quick. My boy Hector at No Limit Clothing brand. He actually put together a Kobe Bryant shirt for Mama Day. And all of the proceeds are going to the Kobe and Gigi Bryant Foundation. So like 100% of it. And he's actually donating $248 of his own money to the foundation as well, 24 and 8. So the link is in my link tree inside my personal Instagram and my TikTok, and use the code No Limit Strizzy for a 20% discount as well. So,
what is it, like his website?
Yeah, it's basically his website. Yeah, his website. And I think this shirt goes for I think it's going for like $19.99, $20 right now.
Okay. And is it just nolimitclothing.com?
I think it's like LLC or something like that. But I don't know it by heart. Like I said, it's definitely, if you go to my bio, it's in my link tree for sure at the bottom.
Okay. I'm gonna try to go put that in there real quick. I'm gonna put it in the comments on here.
Yeah. The shirt's actually really, really dope. It has a front and back logo on it, and it looks really sick. Let me get one too.
That's what's up, dog. So it's different from the one you did. They give you something before?
Yeah, they did. They gave me he hooked me up with a shirt earlier. It's the one where Kobe's picking up Devin Booker after he hit that game winner over Philly. I think it was. It Philly or it was over 70, not 76, just the Clippers. When he hit it over the Clippers, there's that one, I think. Gotcha. So when he's on the ground, he's like flat back staring up. Kobe's like has his hand out picking him up. So it's a really legit shirt. And then this one's basically Kobe's last game, the farewells on the front. So he's got his hand in the air saying goodbye to everybody, and then on the back it's got the Mamba symbol. So in the half purple and half gold, I think. So it's a really dope shirt. Y'all should check it out for sure.
That's what's up. All right.
Cool. Valentine's is coming up, ladies. Get your man a shirt. He'll definitely appreciate that one. You can't.
Oh, he just popped up.
And so, hey, we're supposed to use code Strizzy. What?
No Limit Strizzy. One word.
Strizzy.
No limit soldiers.
I know. Every time I want to break into make it say I just put that in there. I think that's what it is. I think it's nolimit.llc.
Yeah.
It
that's
should be based on the link I see. So, all right, then. That's where you can get your gear. Use your code.
Yep.
Support your brand, local brand. Support the Mamba Foundation too.
Exactly. Yeah.
All to the good. That's what's up.
Hey, Strizzy, Oklahoma is playing Texas right now in NCAA men's basketball, and Texas is ranked 5. And last that I saw, Oklahoma was up.
Nice. That's what's up.
Yeah,
Oklahoma hasn't been good since Trae Young, and then before that, Blake Griffin.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah, I don't focus on the basketball hoops much like I do the football. So that's okay. I'm okay with that.
Man, I can't do basketball until the tournament. That's for sure.
Right.
Oklahoma is ranked 24, and Texas is ranked 5, and there's 1 minute and 35 seconds left, and Oklahoma is up 78-73.
Nice. It's a little update. Where's going down?
I thought it was actually crazy though. I don't know if it's still the same way, but Kentucky, Duke, and North Carolina all out of the rankings, top 25.
Yeah, it's like, when's the last time that happened though?
Ever? Hot minute.
Since they had rankings, basically.
Probably if I had to guess.
Oh, Anthony Weston just put Buddy Hield. What happened with Buddy Hield?
So that's going to be exciting for the NCAA tournament. Well, hopefully it does happen. But the rankings, because those powerhouses are not at the top there, it's going to be interesting.
Missouri basketball number 12. That's what's up. Shout out to Mizzou.
Oh, he was saying because Buddy went to Oklahoma. That's right. I forgot about him.
Yeah.
And he was firing too. Always, he's another one that always rocked the 24 for Kobe.
It's kind of funny too, like we were talking about how, just like real quick, how we talked about like the game changed as far as like point guards and stuff now kind of going first, you know what I mean? Whereas, 10, 12 years ago, like didn't matter how big you were, it's like the big man's going first. And I was just thinking about Texas and Kevin Durant's year, he averaged 21 and 10 or something like that, and Greg Oden was like 15 and 9, and you know what I'm saying? Greg Oden. Exactly. Like, and so it's crazy. It's crazy how things have changed. You know what I'm saying? Steph Curry definitely changed the game for sure.
Yeah. And in part, even though I don't like to give him too much credit, in part, Mark Jackson for basically seeing Steph Curry and Klay Thompson and seeing that Warriors team and just basically telling them, you can shoot whenever you want, as often as you want, as much as you want, please. And, like, they just kind of let it fly, and that really changed a lot.
He kind of had to when you think about it. I mean, don't get me wrong, Steph was amazing at Davidson. You know, he was so good, but you knew coming in he was a smaller guard, and I don't mean just height. He was small. You know, he was tiny, babyface assassin for a reason, and it was like you're ready to get these shots up. You know what I mean? And he definitely put them shots up. So
created the Splash Brothers, and then they just took off from there. So
yeah, the rest is history.
That's what's up. But Okay, that was Say Like a Champ episode 74. Big shout out to all of our Slackers tuning in, commenting, engaging the whole way. We love you guys. We appreciate you guys. Shout out to super producer Mad Marcus. He is busy as always, but we're going to be working on some things with him too. We'll hopefully bring you guys some special things before the big game. So, yeah, we're going to keep moving, keep this train rolling, keep this thing popping. If we don't see you before, or we don't see you on a surprise episode, we will see you guys all next Tuesday. And I am Ada.
It's your boy Strizzy, y'all.
It's your girl, Myra May.
It's Taco Tuesday. Rest in peace. Rest in peace, Kobe. Rest in peace, Gigi.
And you say the truth.